Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Baughman here. Thank you for joining us today for our math lesson. Today, we will continue learning about perimeter and area. Let's get started. Look around your workspace. I want you to find something shaped like a rectangle. When you think you have found something, hold it up. All right, let's see. Aiden has his workbook. Very good. Henry has a ruler. Bailey is holding a remote. Yes, all rectangles. I also have a rectangle. Who can tell me something about this? What are some of those properties that make a rectangle a rectangle? Eli. 4 sides, yes. Henry. 4 right angles. Caroline. Opposite sides the same. Very good. That's going to be a very important part of today's lesson. What do we call those sides of a rectangle? Cooper? The length and the width. Excellent. Those make up the dimensions of a rectangle, and we use those dimensions to help us figure out the perimeter and the area. Let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and share our screen. So for our objective, today you will extend your understanding of the perimeter and area of rectangles. You're going to use formulas to find missing dimensions, and at the end of this lesson, there will be a checkpoint to show your understanding. Can-do statements. Read these along as I read them aloud. I can identify the properties of a rectangle. I can identify the dimensions of a rectangle. I can use formulas to find the perimeter and area of a rectangle. I can solve real-world problems using perimeter and area. Materials for today. You will need your workbook, notebook, pencil, and a calculator in case we want to check over our work. All right. Vocabulary. All of these terms we mentioned, you guys did a great job in our mini lesson before getting started. Rectangle, dimension, length, width, formula, perimeter, and area. The formulas we're going to get into right now. So for our example, I have a rectangle with a length of 14 centimeters and a width of 6 centimeters. What formula can we use to find the perimeter? So my formula is going to be length plus width plus length plus width. So if my length is 14 and my width is 6, I'm going to simply add those sides of my rectangle together. Can anyone see an easier way to solve this problem? 14 plus 6 plus 14 plus 6. Sammy? Yes, very good, Sammy. I can go ahead and group together my 14 and 6 to make 20. And 20 plus 20 is, everyone? 40, very good. So 40 centimeters is my perimeter. Now, how about area? To find area, we will use the formula A equals length times width. So 14 times 6. In your notebooks, I want you to go ahead and solve 14 times 6. You can use any of the multiplication strategies we have talked about. That includes repeated addition, the traditional algorithm, or an area model. When you think you have the answer, raise your hand. Yes, John. 84. Excellent. It is 84. And what are we going to use for our label, John? Not just centimeters. Square centimeters. Yes, you remembered. Excellent. Okay, any questions so far? Boys and girls, make sure you are following along and writing this down in your workbook because you will want to use these formulas for the next several problems. Here's our next problem. A swimming pool has a perimeter of 150 meters. One dimension is 25 meters. What is the other dimension? Let's break down this problem. What information do I already know? Nia. Yes, my one dimension is 25. And since we talked about how opposite sides are the same, I know that my opposite side of my rectangle is also going to be 25. Now, if my perimeter is 150 and I've already used 25 plus 25, how can we figure out the remaining dimension? Bailey. Awesome. I'm going to take 150 minus 50, and I'm left with 100. Very good. So now I'm going to take the 100 and I'm going to split it in half because I need half to go on my top and half to go on the bottom. So 100 divided by 2 is 50. 50 for the top, 50 for the bottom. Opposite sides are the same. If I add all of these sides up, I'm going to get 150 meters. So my missing dimension here is 50 meters. Next problem. Charlie is playing basketball at the park. The court has a perimeter of 68 yards. One dimension is 4 yards. What is the area of the court? Okay, so let's break down this problem. Peter, what information does this problem already tell me? Yes, that one of my dimensions is 4. And since we know opposite sides are the same, the other side of this rectangle is going to be 4. Now my perimeter is 68. So what can we do with the information that we have? Aiden. Excellent. 4 plus 4 is 8. Let's take 8 and subtract it from 68. So we're left with 60. And then once again, we are going to split it in half, divide that by 2. 60 divided by 2 is 30. So we have successfully found our missing dimension. We can always add it back up to check our work. 30 plus 4 plus 4 is 68. So we are good to go. Now, this isn't what the question was asking us, however. They want to know the area of the court. So we have to think back to our formula. I know that area is length times width. So what do I multiply? Cooper? 30 times 4. Excellent. And let's use our mental math skills, Coop. What is 30 times 4? 120. Good. And the label? Square yards. Excellent. All right, give me a thumbs up if we're still following along and doing okay. All right, awesome. Next problem. So this one I want you to try on your own. When you think you have the answer, put it into our chat so that I can see when everyone is ready, and then we will go over it together. I will still read the problem. It says, Jamie is building a rectangular dog run. One dimension measures 8 yards, and the other measures twice as long. How many yards of fencing does Jamie need? Right, go ahead and take a few minutes and work out this problem. Okay, boys and girls, it has been a few minutes. Let's see here. Sammy, go ahead and walk me through this problem. Okay, very good. So we know that one of our dimensions is 8. And since the other says it's twice as long, we know that it is 16. Very good. All right, and you added all these numbers together. Now, how did you know to do that? Because it didn't say to find perimeter. It says how many yards of fencing does Jamie need? Yes, you knew that they were talking about the outside of your rectangle, and that is perimeter. Very good. So if you took 16 plus 16 plus 8 plus 8, work this through. Okay, so you took 8 plus 8 is 16. All right, awesome. Very good. So 16 plus 16 plus 16. How did we go and figure this out? Go ahead and walk me through this, Sammy. 16 plus 16, then you know is 32. Very good. And then you added the last 16, and you got 48. And what was the unit of measurement? Yards. Very good. Excellent. Wonderful. All right, boys and girls, we are ready for our checkpoint. So for today's checkpoint, we are going to do some true or false questions. I'm going to hold up a problem, and you're going to tell me if you think it is true or if it is false. If you think it is true, I want you to put your hand on your head. If you think it is false, I want you to touch your nose. True, false. All right. So for this problem, my perimeter equals 55. True or false? All right, I see a lot of nose touches. You are right. It is false. Why is it false, Jackson? Because 55 is the area, not the perimeter. Very good. All right, let's do one or two more. Okay, so for our next problem, I have 10 and 12 for my dimensions, and I have perimeter equals 22 inches. Hand on your head for true, finger on your nose for false. You guys got it. Very good. It is false. Why is this false? I added my length plus my width. Good, because opposite sides are the same. So I need to not just add 10 plus 12, but 10 plus 12 again. Good work. All right, last one. Same dimensions. Now I have area equals 120 square inches. True, false. Very good. It is true. 10 times 12 equals 120. Nice job, everyone, today. Thank you for joining us on our lesson. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye.